If you care about protecting your son or someone's son that you know and love from the corrupt family law system, then you've come to the right place. Let's get into it. Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Flawless Fatherhood. I'm your host, Mr. 5050, and I have a great show for you today. A very informative show for you today. You're going to hear stuff here that you haven't heard before, okay? Straight up. And this whole platform is based, I made this platform to be able to help fathers, current and future fathers, be able to get the results I got in life as it pertains to fathers' rights, okay? Now, I'm going to try to make this video as short and precise as possible, but I'm going to tell you a little bit about me before I get going. I'm a father of 3 sons. My oldest 2 sons were 9 and 4 years old when me and their mother got a divorce in 2006. Me and their mother got married at 19. We got divorced at 29. I was able to position myself to secure my custody, to be able to remain the primary residential parent through the divorce and after divorce, and I was able to raise them into men, while she had every other weekend visitation and paid her portion of child support into the home. I also have a 3rd son. Those 2 sons that were 9 and 4 when I got a divorce, they're now 27 and 22 respectively. Out independent, doing their own thing, living their best lives. I also have a 11-year-old son. I have him from an unwed relationship from 2012. He is 11 years old. Me and his mother is not together anymore. We're not together. I have him 50-50 joint physical custody. We alternate week to week with each other. He has a room at my place. He has a room at her place. He has 2 homes. He is healthy. He is thriving. And guess what? As long as he sees mother and dad working together and pouring out love to him, he is doing excellent. Broken home stuff narrative only works if the parents, one of the parents are using the child or kids against the other parent. Okay, use them as a weapon. That's the only way. But I'm not able to use our son against her, nor is she trying to use him against me. Why? Because basically we got the same amount of time. Nobody can try to debo the situation. All right? So look, if I've secured my kids from a marriage and divorce and secured them from an unwed relationship, there's no other father's rights advocate that I know, and probably you guys know, that can say they've done that on both ends of the spectrum. I say that because I want to be able to give you a little bit of show you a little bit of body of work and what I've been through, to let you know that I've walked the walk. And here I am ready to share this information with you. Thanks for the little preamble. Let's get going. Okay, I made this post in some fathers' rights groups, in a few fathers' rights groups a couple weeks ago, maybe a week and a half or so ago. And I titled it this: what are you all doing to prepare your sons to not go through what you've went through as it pertains to fathers' rights? You know, because a lot of these fathers out here, they're going through it, right? They don't have their kids. The mother's using them against them, using them against them and painting certain narratives that may or may not be true, but that's not supposed to happen. When any parent is feeling a certain type of way about the other parent, look, you feel that way, but don't push that off on the children, okay? But not to get too much into that, they use the child against one another is what a lot of these fathers are having to go through. So I wanted to see, hey, based off your experiences, what would you be able to do or share with your child or whatever? So it was some funny responses in there, some very heartfelt responses. Some responses, a couple dudes like, tell them to get snipped and never have kids and all this type of stuff. I thought that was a bit extreme, but I get it. Because sometimes it feels that hopeless to be able to play this game of bringing a life into this world and not falling victim, to the system. But you're listening here and you're going to find out how not to, all right? So there's a lot of interesting responses. So I wanted to make a video about my responses, my personal responses that I have 3 sons that I'm bringing into this world, that I brought into this world. So definitely I will make sure all 3 of them are protected from this nonsense. Because hey, if I did it and I attained certain type of knowledge and did research, I'm definitely going to make sure my seeds, my sons are protected. All right? See, a lot of times, a lot of men be like, oh, just think their daughters have to be protected. No, your sons have to be protected too. Maybe not from another guy, another man, but from the system that awaits for them to walk through life being ignorant, and then they'll get snatched up. All right, but let's go. Now, not to get too much into this, 3 top ways that I would say that I use to be able to make sure my sons don't get caught up in. Now, I just singled it down just to 3. Obviously, it can be a lot more than that. But let's go to number 1. 1, educate your sons about the importance of safe sex. Now, the people are like, okay, well, that's pretty in general, right? But when I say the importance of safe sex, I'm talking about educating them, not talking to them, educating them about safe sex. Meaning like the importance, let me grab my notes because I'm going to miss them. The importance of using condoms and STDs. And the consequences of not using condoms, the possible STDs, or having early pregnancy. I don't care if you got to show Google images and showing them pictures of your son, pictures of a male with gonorrhea or some type of STD. Show it to them and scare them and say, hey, look, this is what happens when you don't wear condoms, when you don't protect yourselves. So we have to embrace having these tough conversations with our sons because we only have one chance to do it. And we got to do it right, okay? Even for you guys that are behind the power curve and you only got your kids 4 to 6 days a month, still teach them, educate them about it, and don't come from a spirit, try not to come from a spirit of being angry and resentful because then they're going to receive it like, oh, dad's only saying it because he's mad and angry, right? So educate them. You still have the obligation to do so. So now, that was number 1. Educate your sons about safe sex, the importance of safe sex. Number 2, this is an unpopular opinion right here, right? Unpopular opinion, but straight up, I'm standing on business. And that is, I'm going to discourage your sons from getting married too early. That's right. I said it. I didn't say discourage them from getting married. Discourage them from getting married too early. Why the heck are we allowing, they can do what they want to, but we should raise up our sons to be able to tell them, look, hey son, live your life first. They don't stop them from having girlfriends, but they don't need to be going out there, getting in relationships, getting engaged and getting married at 23, 24, 25, 6 years old. They don't need to be doing that. Let's be honest. We didn't really even know ourselves when we're in our mid-20s. Okay? So why are we not educate them with learning themselves first and being responsible and not having kids? That goes for sons and daughters. Okay? Because God knows if I had a daughter, I'd be implementing the same type of value. But I wouldn't want her to get married early. What does she know about her or him know about the institution of marriage and being together for the rest of their lives? At 22, 23, 24, 25 years old, neither of them know. I know we're way ahead, I believe, from where these kids are now, being at 25, especially with social media and everything. Don't send our children out there into that. Teach them about being responsible, live their life, at least so that if they got 10 years up under their belt where they can live for themselves and grow within themselves. This ain't going out there about doing reckless stuff, but at the end of the day, they can say, well, look, all right, I've lived a little bit, a good amount of time. Now I can embrace having a family and doing what's right by my family. Because let's be honest, when you get married, the single life and to be able to move around, the freedom of that has to go to the wayside. People far too often, young people are getting married and they don't have that out of the system yet. That's a problem. That's a divorce. That's a broken family, and that's likely your children living without their father. So, look, I'm not trying to say discourage them, like don't ever get married, but pump the brakes on it, all right? All right, now, remember, Please press like if you get any type of substance out of this video. You're going to get value. The next one, man, this third one is the gusto. It's the crux of everything about father's rights in my belief. Okay? So, look, I remember, please subscribe to the platform. Comment, like the video and comment, because that helps push the algorithms, push this video, the algorithm say, hey, people mess around with this video right here from Mr. 50. Let's push it to other people. So please, write Fathers Matters down at the bottom in the comment, or write the number 1. I appreciate it. Something. And remember to like the video. So, but before we get to number 3, I'd like to take a quick moment to address something. I'd like to take a quick moment to highlight and celebrate today's Flawless Fatherhood's Man of the Hour. And that distinction goes to Mr. Gregory G. Congratulations, Mr. Gregory G, for being today's Flawless Fatherhood's Man of the Hour. Man, you are looking pretty freaking awesome in that Flawless Fatherhood merch you got going on. Here, everyone, for every 100 subscribers, I randomly pick someone from the comments or someone has reached out to me that supports the content at a very high level. You know, in order to be chosen, you got to be a subscriber, you got to like videos, you have to be interactive. Mr. Gregory G, he's a father of 2. He's a flawless father. He actually helps spreads the word and brings people to the platform and have subscribed. So if you want a chance to win some merch, may it be a Flawless Fatherhood shirt, a Flawless Fatherhood mug, a Flawless Fatherhood cap, just make sure you comment in this comment section and bring people to the platform and just be active in the community. I thank you very much. And again, congratulations to Mr. Gregory G. It's better to give than receive sometimes, ain't it? Homeboy looking fresh. He looking fresh and so clean. So fresh, just so fresh and clean. So, all right. Now, also I want to let you guys know, I've personally developed creative ways for any of you unwed fathers, you fathers out there that don't have your children, not custodial parents. I have a creative way how you can get back timeshare with your child. It's a plan that I've devised. If you're interested in that, again, make sure you subscribe to the platform. And it's about changing your current situation to where when you bring that to the court, they have no choice but to change the parenting schedule, in my opinion. So now let's get to number 3. Let's see here. All right. Remember, guys, I need you to like and subscribe. That's very important to me. I do these videos for free and I'm passionate about it. And I'm sharing all my wisdom and all my experience with these fathers, for you can share it with your sons and they can share it with their sons. And guess what? We can give the middle finger to the corrupt family law system. If I could crack back the head of every single man right now, and I don't know every damn thing, right? But it's about common sense. I don't know the laws. Man, screw the laws. Here's the thing. The laws are the laws. The laws were like that in 2006 when I got a divorce. I didn't need the laws to change. The laws are the laws. We got to reprogram ourselves, deprogram what we've been told, and reprogram ourselves to how to behave when we're husbands and we're fathers, to make sure we don't lose our rights. Speaking of rights and custodial rights, when you're a married father, if you're married and you have kids, both parents are equally custodial parents through the marriage license. Through marriage, legal marriage with the state, boom, you're both, you have both custody on the same level. Now, from my belief, my understanding, from what I see, most fathers lose custody in divorces because they give away their custody. Oh, no, don't start tripping. When I say give away, that don't mean like, hey, here are the kids or nothing like that. I don't want to deal with them. No, they lose them involuntarily and not knowing that they were losing them, because we were programmed to do a few things. Like, let's say when tough times are going on, we would leave the marital home through a separation. We see it on TV, we see it on movies, we've seen it in our lives. Oh, well, he moved out because they have issues, they separated. But when you separate from the home and you leave the marital home, the courts, the system will see that as abandonment and strike against you, as if you left your obligations with your day-to-day responsibility with your kids. Also, allowing the mother to take the children out of the home, taking the kids and leaving and saying, and they go and establish residency and custody somewhere else. That's a mistake. I have a 5-step process called 5 Flawless Fatherhood Factors for Husbands that I'll post in the description and as the pinned comment, so you guys can check that out. It goes into great detail. So if any husbands are watching this, you might want to watch this because it's giving you the 5 steps I did and I created myself to be able to make sure I secured my sons through a divorce I had in 2006. The blueprint's there. It's 5 steps. All right, now let's get to the unwed fathers. When an unwed father has a child or his significant other has a child, only the mother is considered the custodial parent. The father is not the custodial parent. Now, what happens is when the unwed mother has the child, the father is quick to sign the birth certificate and feels this euphoria feeling of, oh my gosh, yes, oh, I'm the father, this and that. But that is not everything. It's not really nothing. Signing the birth certificate does not give you custodial rights to the child, any type of time sharing of custodial rights with the child at all. And if you Google that, you'll find it out. If you ask any legal counsel, they'll tell you the same thing. But they've convinced us to think that it is, but it is not. I never signed a birth certificate for my unwed son, my youngest son, and guess what? I got him 50-50. That freaking damn birth certificate isn't worth the freaking paper it's printed on. It's not. That's my opinion, though. But this is what needs to happen. So when a couple has a child, right? The father signs a birth certificate. Let's say this is the timeline. They sign the birth certificate. They move across in life. Let's say 6 months, 2 years, 5 years down the line, they break up. The mother takes the kid because she feels as if it's hers now because we're breaking up, and the father, allows her to, and then tries to go to court in time to try to get custody. That's hustling backwards. Hustling backwards. Don't hustle backwards. This is the hidden truth that they don't tell fathers, unwed fathers. You married fathers need to learn the truth so you can share the information. Like I'm sharing it to you guys. Nobody ain't gonna tell you this. No attorney, no judge, no family court system. Nobody's gonna tell you. But I had to do the research, and eventually I started putting pieces together, and I asked questions, and I found out nowhere does it say to do this. Listen to me. Nowhere does it say to do this. But what needs to happen when an unwed father has a child, has a child with the mother, when the mother has a child, what needs to happen, as soon as that child is born, that father and that mother needs to establish paternity and get a joint custody agreement at that time. You can't do it while the child's in the womb. You have to do it once that child's breathing this fresh earthly air. At that point in time, you got to go and legally establish paternity and get a joint custody agreement. Establishing paternity is just basically legal form, part of legal form. It says you're saying you're the father, she's saying you're the father, agreeing you're the father, and they stamping it. You know what I'm saying? That's, in short terms, that's what it is. Now, that is the establishing paternity part of it. The legal part of it, now, if you want to go get a DNA test and stuff like that, that's fine, dandy. But the legal part of that's the establishing paternity, that's what it is. It's just an agreement between the two. Okay, boom, y'all in agreement. Great. The next part of it is getting a joint custody agreement. You got to get a joint custody agreement. In that joint custody agreement, we got to start treating having children like a business, and us men don't do that. But they tricked us and they don't tell us that. Unwed fathers must establish paternity and get a joint custody agreement. And the reason I say what needs to happen is you need to do that soon. Within the first 30 days, you need to get that going and doing it. Why? It's because in that first 30 days of having a child, that's when the mother and the father are at their most agreeable. They just had a child. They're in the honeymoon stages of having a child. So they truly want the best for the child more times than not. So you're more agreeable. It's just business that you have to do as an unwed father. Then once you establish paternity and get a joint custody agreement, in those terms of the joint custody agreement, where you'll talk about timeshare, who's paying medical and all this type of stuff, and how often the kids are going to be with who, you can say, make sure you have in there that, hey, maybe 50-50, 60-40 or something like that. Hey, we're going to take, the child is going to reside with us equally until the child's 18. Or the child's going to reside here for equal nights and here equal nights if you live in separate homes. You just have it like that. You do the business on the front end. Hey, if y'all change it, y'all get married, fine, at the end of that won't matter anymore. But while it's like that now, this is how it needs to be. So then if you break up, right, somewhere down this timeline, now if you break up, now you can fall back on your custody agreement already. Now you don't have to hustle backwards trying to get custody, something you should have did in the beginning. 99% easy of unwed fathers did not establish paternity and get a joint custody agreement. It is not your fault. It's best because the system didn't tell you. Everybody's out here going let's change the laws and begging to freaking bully the system to change the laws. Listen, the laws are what the laws are, and they know it, and they're just laughing at us. They're just laughing at the fathers. Look at these dumbass out here. They don't know how to freaking establish their fatherhood, legitimize their fatherhood. They don't know how to do that. You know why? Because they didn't teach us that. But I'm here to teach you that. Flawless Fatherhood, Mr. 50-50 here to share that with you. So that's the deal. That's the hidden secret. Establishing paternity and getting a joint custody agreement in the first 30 days, starting that up. And I call that the Flawless Fatherhood 30-day rule. So look, you need to be getting out there. And if it's a ways how you can talk to your girlfriend, your significant other about that, unwed significant other about that, without her feeling like you're trying to open up a court case on her and take the kid. You just gotta be like, hey, baby, let's go down to I think we should go sign some more paperwork down at the poorhouse. And she might not know what you mean. Like, just go down there. You go down there with the kid, maybe two weeks or something like that. You walk down there and you walk into the family court spot, self-help or whatever in there, and ask them, say, hey, we just had our baby, this and that. They're gonna be like, oh, that's nice. We're not married. Is there anything that we were supposed to do? Anything else? They'll tell you. They'll tell you if you ask them, is there anything you're supposed to do? So then they'll tell you, oh yeah, you guys have to, do this and that, blah, blah. So, get a joint custody agreement. Establish paternity and get a joint custody agreement. They'll tell you. Then, but you got to come to them and they'll be able to tell you. And then they'll tell you what you need to do. So when she's hearing it from a third party that's not vested in anything, she won't feel as if, oh, you're trying to run one on her. All right? You're just trying to do the best thing for the child. Man, look, I know that was a mouthful. But that type of activity, that type of behavior, changing the climate and men starting to do that, and husbands that are married, to make sure they know the 5 steps, to make sure they don't lose their children. Again, that video will be in the comments and in the description, so you can check that out. It's detailed. It's going exactly how things I did to make sure I secured my sons in a divorce. You have to be an active father. Listen, that's the deal. Get a joint custody agreement and establish paternity and get a joint custody agreement soon as you have a child. Soon as. Don't wait no freaking 4, 5, 6 months. Don't do that. Anything can happen. Life can come in the way. Do it early so it can secure your future with your child equally as the mom. God damn! That's how you get it done. Flawless Fatherhood, where you hear what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. Nobody else is going to tell you that but me. Look, I've done it. I put the work in so you don't have to. So your sons don't have to. For their sons don't have to. Remember to like, comment, subscribe. Press the number 1. Let me know what you thought about the video. See you next time.